I feel like God invaded and asked me to do something radical. He said, I want you to stop taking your medicine, all of it. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease that's incurable called myasthenia gravis. The symptoms of the disease, it affects all of your muscles. It weakens all the muscles of your body. It causes your eyes to droop, you to get double vision, trouble swallowing, eating, walking, any muscle in your body, it affects and weakens it. My husband was just exhausted, stressed, overwhelmed from taking care of me and taking care of the boys. It was really hard. I felt like they were missing out on so much, and I was just a burden. And I remember asking God, would you please take me to heaven now? And I shared it with my husband, and he was very overwhelmed and very upset and very broken. And he said some things to me that I remember to this day. He said, you have to fight harder. And he said, you have to fight for me and you have to fight for the boys because we need you and we love you. And in that moment, I felt like God spoke to me too and said, I'm not done with you or your story. And so instead of seeing my doctor's appointments and my tests I had to go get taken and my time in the hospital as an inconvenience, I started to see them as an opportunity for God to use me to share with others. And so I did, and he gave me opportunities more and more, and it was incredible, and it was awesome. It was a struggle, but God helped me every step of the way. And that fight caused me to chase him harder than I ever been before, than I ever have before. And it wasn't just for me, it was for my boys. And you know why? Because I was so sick. And I wanted them to know that no matter how sick I am, God is still good. I wanted them to know that God was real, that God loved them, that God loved me, and that God can heal even if I'm never healed. The night that I was healed, which was on October 4th, 2024, I was going to a service at church, prayer and worship service, and I was going sick. I've been struggling. I went to the doctor the day before, and he had suspicions that I was dealing with the same condition I had been the year before, where I was in the hospital for 49 days. So I came into the service very upset, very overwhelmed, very stressed, and I went straight into worship, pouring my heart out to God. And I said, God, how much more could you do through me if I was healed? I know that you've done a lot with me being sick, and you've touched so many people, and I'm thankful for that, but how much more could you do if I was better, if I was well? And so I just prayed, God, please heal me. Please heal me. I was so desperate and I was upset. And in the midst of that, in the craziness of my emotions, in the quiet moment, I felt like God invaded and asked me to do something radical. He said, I want you to stop taking your medicine, all of it. I waited out and thought, I don't know, to obey God, I could die. And so I started considering, is this me or is this God? And I felt like he interrupted me and said, this is me. You know my voice. This is you and me talking. And I wouldn't ask you to do something like this if I didn't have a plan. And so I surrendered after wrestling a little bit longer, reluctantly, and I said, okay, God, I surrender all of me to you today. It was over 6 months ago, and you know what? I'm still alive to make him famous. And he's done amazing things. He's proven to me over and over that he has healed me in a variety of ways. It was a miracle on that night, and I know that God could do miracles in anyone's life if he could do it in mine. And I just pray that through my story, you might be impacted to believe for your miracle. And all I can say is, wow, God surprised me, and I'm so thankful. Thank you, Jesus.